Right. You know what? Let's go check if we have any new spells that we want. We're still missing like a fair few. Should we just get... I don't know. Seems like a bit of a waste to get Raised Dead and Resurrection, honestly. I'm just getting these two for, you know, completion's sake, honestly. I don't generally use Resurrection and Raised Dead, because if I have to use Resurrection and Raised Dead, it means something has gone awfully wrong. Now let's hope for telekinesis here, finally. Finally, telekinesis, and we're actually gonna buy two. Feeble Mind, Mass Fear. I don't think these two spells actually work. As in, I don't think they do anything. I'm gonna get Cure Paralysis. I don't think Charm works either. Mind Magic might be the most broken like magic school, but broken in a not, you know, good way. It's just the spells just don't work. However, telekinesis, very good spell. Also, precision now affects the entire party, so that's going to be much easier to cast. Let's go and sell our, well, basically everything that we can sell. We can also enchant this, I didn't notice. Speed plus 9. It's almost too easy to go 9! I don't want to! I don't need it! So that's why I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna go, no. I don't need it. I'm terribly sorry about that. That was probably one of the worst things that I've ever said. Like, oh my god. You know you have it set for life when you make yourself giggle. That's always a good thing. Anyway, back to serious business, because, you know, this Might Magic is no laughing matter. Let's get some, basically more items, I guess. More spells. Okay, Power Cure. No, but we did get Power, so that's good. Power is good. Power is like a buff type spell. It gives you might and endurance. And on Master it also affects the entire party. It shouldn't make too much of a difference, and also, you know, enhancing your endurance still does nothing for the amount of health you currently have, but it might save you from, you know, from death, I guess. Now, do I need any earth magic spells? Not really. I'm fine with earth magic. When to mind? Let's get fly, if possible. Okay, let's get implosion and fly. We don't unfortunately have starburst. Absolutely get jump. Might as well get shield. Absolutely get 2 jumps, actually. And we're gonna give the rest... Oh, she already knows shield. That's good. Okay, but she didn't know fly, and she didn't know implosion, and I'm gonna teach her to... I taught it to Alexis because she's actually the one that leveled up air magic. But now let's go to the Guild of Fire. I think I still need Inferno, right? I should still need Inferno. Yes, I do still need Inferno. I'm gonna buy Inferno. Oh, and Incinerate. That's excellent. But I'm actually looking for... There we go. Fire Blast and Ring of Fire. Excellent. We can now do some testing. We actually have... Our sorcerer is actually level 12 master rank. I keep confusing the two. Like, I know that sometimes I say that level is master, and sometimes I say that rank is master, and sometimes I say that it's level 12, and sometimes I say it's rank 12, but I hope you all know what I mean. Anyway, our sorcerer has 12 fire magic. He is a master at using fire magic, and he has all of the fire magic spells. And I just wanted to do a quick note. Fire Blast is a spell that works similar to Sparks. The closer version would actually be Poison Spray, and that, well, let me just show you how it works. So this is what Poison Spray does. What? I need to go quick spell it. It was a bit of a spread, but I hope you guys saw. It sort of, you know, shoots like 5 poison jets, I guess. And they can all hit the same target. Fire Blast is an upgraded version of that. It shoots 7 shots on Master, and they can all shoot the same target. Now, it's a stronger spell, damage-wise, than Sparks is. But it also costs a lot more. Sparks costs 4, I think. Yes, and this one costs, I immediately forgot, 15. Which means it's almost 4 times as pricey as Sparks is. And yeah, but it's like when I'm running a party of, let's say, a druid and 3 sorcerers, or a cleric and 3 sorcerers, which I often do. I usually switch from Sparks to Fire Blast, like somewhere in between, to just shotgun people in the face harder, faster. Now, Ring of Fire is something that I have been thinking about ever since a viewer brought it up. But I never really tested this this spell a lot. My problem with this spell is it costs 10 spell points, and on master ranking, on level 12 fire magic, it deals 18 damage, maximum, of course. If there's a resistant monster, it does less. But there is, like, basically, the disadvantages are the cost compared to things like, I don't know, Sparks, and even, I would even say Fire Blast due to the damage that it deals. And the second thing that's a disadvantage is that this spell actually deals damage like in a radius around you. And I'm not entirely sure what this radius is, because it's not clear. It doesn't have any animation or anything, it just deals damage, right? The bonus, however, is it doesn't have a cap to how many monsters it can actually hit. Also, it doesn't, you know, deal damage to your own characters, which is good. But I've never used it, right? Because it's kind of pricey for what it does. But I can, however, see some, like, I can see a potential in it when you're, like, surrounded by you know, weaker mobs. And you can sort of clear them out with this. But then we have Inferno, right? Which deals 12 points of damage plus 1 per point of skill, which is pretty much the same as Ring of Fire, except it deals a bit more base damage. It's a lot pricier, but it basically burns all monsters in sight. So it's like, I don't know where to put the Ring of Fire. Honestly, I don't. I will have to test it out. Maybe can we do it somewhere? Actually, you know what? Let's do a dungeon. Let's try it out. We're going to be trying out Ring of Fire while doing another dungeon and a dungeon and a quest. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I basically tanked my savings. You're going to need a lot of money for spells in Might Magic 6 because you don't really have a Grandmaster Merchant. So you have to be sort of you know, how should I say this? Good with your finances, especially like in the early game. So I'm going to have Ring of Fire. You're not going to have anything. You're not going to have anything for now. I am going to cast... Am I going to cast Charisma and Blast? I don't know. Because I really want to try this out. Okay, so let's do a quick save, because I'm going to be doing something not too smart. And let's see. That is one cast of Ring of Fire. Like, it caught like 4 mobs. It dealt 18 damage to the Skeleton Lords, which means it also dealt 18 damage to the Skeleton Knight. But I would need about 4 to 5 casts to actually, you know, like, kill them. It did hit all of them, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't think the spell is very worth it at this point. Like, here's what Sparks will do, and he's just a level 4 air magic user if I'm not mistaken. Yes, here's what Sparks does. Sparks basically kills that Skeleton Lord. It's just 1, but remember, we have 8 less skill in air magic than we do in fire magic. So I don't know, it never was a spell that I, like, used, honestly. I guess if you're, like, bunched up with a whole lot of enemies and you're, I don't know, possibly cornered or, I don't know. I'm trying to think of situations in which Ring of Fire would actually be, you know, like the go-to spell, but I honestly can't. Like, in Mind Magic 7 and in 8 as well, I think. It should also be in 8, the thing that I'm going to talk about. There is a spell called Immolation, which is basically a which basically does the same thing as Ring of Fire does, but it's a sort of buffing type spell that, you know, hits all the monsters around you, let's say every 2 minutes of in-game time and lasts for a set amount of time. So even that is much better because it can sort of fire and forget, right? Whereas this one you actually need to, you know, keep casting, and I just don't see the value, honestly. I don't know. It never really... The spell never really stood out. Like, the concept is good, but... Like, if only the damage gain was better. Like, if it got 1, 2, or possibly even like 3 damage per point of skill, I could maybe see a world in which I would use Ring of Fire. But as is, like, the monsters have to be in melee range, which means you'll be getting a lot of damage. Okay, let's check now. How many of you are there? Okay, good. Let's do Ring of Fire. They get the ones behind you. I mostly got everything, I think. Did I get, like, there's a skeleton... There's a skeleton right... sorry, like, way in the back. And I don't know whether or not I... Oh, actually, I did get him. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's, like, a skeleton, like, way back behind that Skeleton Knight, poking his head up there. And I actually did hit it, so the radius is not actually that bad, and I guess I've hit like 9 enemies. But again, they have to be like in melee range, which means automatically you'll be getting damaged, right? So it's an unsafe spell, basically. And I just don't think it's worth it, because you can just, you know, go in guns blazing with Inferno, and, you know, you'll be safer and you'll hit X amount of enemies depending on how many you see. Like I said, like, it's a cool concept, right? But if it was like it's done in Might and Magic 7, then possibly I would have used it. But as is now, I just don't... I don't know, it's just not worth it. And there's not really a way that you can abuse the spell either. I'm sorry, like, I'm doing this whole dungeon and I'm just talking about Ring of Fire. And how, unfortunately, in my opinion, underpowered it is. I am terribly sorry. I need to talk about this dungeon. This dungeon is actually quite interesting from a lore perspective. It's also tied to a quest, which I haven't accepted yet, but, you know, we can still do regardless. It's interesting from a lore perspective because this is actually supposedly the tomb of the first lich in the Might and Magic series, called Ethric. And as you can see, it's going to be filled, or not filled, but it's going to have some of these, let's use power lich type enemies, which you will have to be careful around, but I feel like I'm strong enough to be able to handle them at this point. I'm actually going to go with Fire Blast because that's going to be much stronger. And I want to just run in there, heal myself up. There we go. As you can see, the other Power Lich and Lich almost killed me. So I took on 2 Power Liches and another Lich, and it wasn't easy. Endurance plus 17. Too bad you're tied to a hat. That is weird. Never mind. Not gonna use it. So yeah, this is basically like, I don't know, it's a cool dungeon from a lore perspective, I think, because you get to kill Ethric, the first Lich of the Might Magic series. Not the stronger one, not the strongest one, I would say, but definitely, you know, like a cool character. There is some, I guess, contest to who might be the coolest and strongest Lich character in the Might Magic franchise. I myself would pick Sandro, which you won't meet in the, you know, quote-unquote, there we go, Ethric. I mean, yeah, pushover, sure, but, you know, we got his skull. And that's, you know, interesting. Well, what was I saying? Something Sandro. Oh yeah, so basically you won't get to meet Sandro in, you know, the, I would say, mainline Might Magic games, but you will meet Sandro in the Heroes of Might Magic franchise, and I'm absolutely going to have the 10+10 to all resistances. Yes, please. Who am I going to give it to? I'm actually going to give it to you, because I want you to have an obscene amount of resistances. So for people who know who I'm talking about, props to you. For people who don't know who the hell Sandro is supposed to be, or Sandro, whatever, I call him Sandro. Sandro is the pro/antagonist of the final... Ooh, that is a good mace. That is a very good mace. I've been slacking on my maces, but this is a very, very nice enchantment as well. Very nice. I keep getting off track. Sandro is the antagonist, also protagonist in some cases, of the final expansion of the Heroes of Might Magic 3 game. And is also a complete freaking badass. Like, I'm going to try and not go on a tangent, basically. But why did that fail? Did I try to enchant something else by mistake? I have no idea what happened there. But yeah, Sandro is cool. I love him. Sandro's story is basically... He wanted to become a Lich, he became a Lich, and then decided that's not enough and wanted to rule the world. Which is, like, it's a cliche sort of story, but Sandro is just such a good antagonist. And it's just, I don't know, I just like his story. Plus he's a badass, and a good hero to have in Heroes of Might and Magic 6. 3. But I think he, like, appears in the later installations as well. Like, I'm not 100% sure about that, but... I haven't really played like Heroes of Might and Magic 4 and 5, and well, I haven't even finished 6, and I haven't even played 7. We don't talk about Heroes of Might and Magic 7 just as much as we don't talk about Might and Magic 9 and, you know, Might and Magic 10. Again, off tangent, but yeah. Oh. So these guys are very annoying because they cast Dispel. Thereby... Oh my god. Oh! God. And their spells fly fast and they deal damage. My god, you're so annoying. See, if you fight them like one by one, and you go melee them and surprise them by stun locking them or something, they're not terribly difficult, but if you're trying to fight them at range, and there's a whole load of them, and there's going to be worse, there's going to be much, much worse places than this is. The liches will just eat you alive, which I guess is fitting, you know, for what they are. Not the eating you alive part, just, you know, in a non-literal sense, will eat you alive. And here we are, abusing the game mechanics by getting liches, you know, like one of the, I would say, more fearsome beasts, and at least lore-wise, one of the wisest monsters, because they are literally necromancers who defied death to go on to live for, you know, millennia, by getting them stuck behind a literal coffin. Oh my god, that was a good one. Oh, that's so good. Okay, who am I going to put this on? I think I'm going to put it onto Zoltan for now. No, you already have one. That's brilliant, actually. Right, I'm going to give it to Roderick, because Roderick actually has some buffing spells that we regularly-ish use. Do you have spell points over time? Yes, you do. You also have hit points over time. That's good. Could be better placed, but it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. Like, these types of enchantments you just want. Oh my god, a golden plate armor. Yes. Oh my god, that is the best plate armor. We just made a serious upgrade to our armor class for our paladin. Super good. Can we actually use this? You know what? We can. Why not? Super good. Does anybody need these gauntlets? Actually, people do. I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna give it to you. Oh, don't think you're gonna need these gauntlets, right? Nope. Okay, actually, you can switch with Roderick, because Roderick got the badass piece of armor now, so you probably need armor class more than he does. Yeah, suddenly he has 110 armor class. Oh, and I forgot, Spearmaster will also get up and give us... Oh no, Spear Expert already gives us armor class. But we're going to be getting more armor class when we pump skill into Spear. Now, does anybody need the booties? Armored booties. Steel booties. Can we enchant said booties? We can enchant said booties. Personality plus 12. Electric resistance plus 6. Now, bummer. You don't need personality, but you do need armor class. More than Roderick does. That's fine. He doesn't really need personality that much. I also think that this is the last room with liches that we have to clear to finish 200% this room. We're only really here to, you know, clear out the, Hello? Oh, I went the wrong way. Oh, I hate this room. There we go. I don't have Wizard Eye. I want Wizard Eye. I also want Torchlight. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we actually only came here to get Ethric's skull, which somebody needs for a ritual or something. Or like he wants to study how to kill liches supposedly, or you know, how to sever their connection to the mortal plane, whatever, you know what I mean. And for some reason we don't think that's odd. We're like, yeah, sure, we'll bring you the head of, you know, the first lich that ever lived. No problem. You know, for research purposes. It's just funny when you think about it. Like, I don't think it has any bearing to the actual story. Like, I don't think it's connected. I don't think in I don't know, Might and Magic, Heroes of Might and Magic 3, they go like, oh yeah, and somebody resurrected Ethric because, you know, a group of adventurers just happened to bring his skull to a dude in Freehaven. We're going to meet said dude. Let's actually see what he says. I have a few theories about the undead that I would very much like to prove, like how to become one. What I really need is the remains of an undead creature, preferably a powerful one. Actually, what I really need is the remains of the first lich, Ethric the Mad. I am a scholar, however, and will have means to get him such a specimen, to have some money, yada yada yada. Now I can conclude my research. If I can learn how the ritual of Endless Night works, perhaps I can find a way to reverse the process. Here is the reward I promised you. Okay, so I guess he's a good guy? I don't know. We may have just set Armageddon into motion. Maybe not. What's his name, actually? It says his name like Sandro. Oh my god, he disappeared! Oh my god, this is going to be like my new conspiracy theory. Because this game happens between like Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and Heroes of Might and Magic 3. And now my conspiracy is going to be this guy's name is actually Sandro. And we actually gave him the skull and the means to become the Lich that he becomes later on and brings about Armageddon, which basically destroys the world. Oh god. This is going to be my new favorite conspiracy theory. Awesome. We did it, guys. We destroyed the world. I think it's better that we get out of I think it's better that we get out of Freehaven before somebody realizes what we've done. Oh, my god.